Napakaganda trailer. At palakpakan din natin, syempre, Direct Ma. Napakaganda trailer.
Kasama rin po sa pelikula sina Bertrand Sarosa, Casey Suseco, Laura Lehman, Dea Medina, Erica Padilla, Riga Valencia, Manuel Chua, Kiko Antonio, Matt Dashan, Don Leo, and Naya Amore, John Revilla, and Alabad Santos. Wala po sa Riga
Kayo ba kayo ngayon?
Nakakaya naman sa naka-collar. Kasi mag-opisina siya eh.
So overdress.
I think ready na rin po ang cast na harapin ang madlang people ngayong hapon ito. Kaya naman simulan natin yan. Umpisahan na natin. Please welcome Laura Lehman.
Laura! Yan.
come back Angel for actually 2 members of the movie. Si Lovi was been gone since January. Nakikita lang natin sa social media, posting her drama in New York and elsewhere. At si Direk Mac, na matagal na nawala since TV5. Ngayon na ulit nagka-project dito and we're glad that you're legal. So, Lovi, what have you been doing?
Right now, I'm just.
No, since the last time that you did the one that got away with Jake again, tagal mo na wala, di ba?
Yes. Ngayon po nag-focus po talaga ako sa movie na to, sa The Annulment. So, now that it's done, I'm actually open to doing another project with Joem. And actually, nag-meeting na po kami.
Oh.
We'll see what's next. But this time, tinapos ko lang po talaga
Nakauna po
because
ito?
I really wanted to focus on
Ay, okay.
this project po.
Direct man ikaw, ang tagal mo na wala.
Ay, teka lang.
How is it doing a movie with you guys? Back with you guys?
Regal is family and his mother is
Start.
mother and his son is a dear friend. Nagsimula na nito na nasa bakasyon ako, tapos nag-message si Rosel at saka ako sa isa't isa. We met sa EDSA siya, tapos sabi niya, let's do a project together. Tapos sabi ko, sige, anong gusto mo? Sabi niya, gusto ko annulment. Ay, ang ganda. May kwento ka na. Wala. Halika mag-usap tayo kasi gusto ko yung topic. That started the ball rolling. That was 2 years ago. And then the story developed. Unang sinulat ni Onay Sales. Then I revised it. And then EC revised it. And then I worked on it again. And EC worked on it again until the final script. And that's what we worked on.
Sa casting si Lovi, nakagandad sa
From the very start. Nag-meet kami ni Lovi 2 years ago. And wala pang script, kwento ko pa lang sa kanya yung konsepto. Ang sabi ko sa kanya, let's do a film on how relationships end even when two people are truly in love with each other. And ang sabi ko sa kanya, sex plays a great part in adult relationships. And to be honest with you, the sex scenes are dating. Are you open? Tapos, after that, she read the script, then she talked to me and said, I like it, let's do it.
Buti na lang kumayag si Joem na makapag-sexy.
Ano ba naman ang parang dami-dami ko nang ginawa?
Of course! Pati kay Jake Cuenca. Oo. So, actually, what made you consent na gawin itong sexy scenes dito, Lovi? May shower scene pa kayo?
What made me... At first,
Mukhang it's really hot, the love scenes,
yes, we were talking about it earlier po. Kasi yung mga love scenes na ginawa namin dito, it's not just for the heck of doing love scenes. Kumbaga, it's like different stages of a relationship. Parang naging símbolo siya sa kung anong level ng relationship nila as a couple. So, meron dyan yung honeymoon stage, meron dyan sila na habang magkagalit sila sa isa't isa, meron dyan yung different stages. So, it's just, the fact na kinailangan talaga siya sa pelikula is what actually not only made us say yes, but also because it's Direk Mac who's doing the love scenes. Talaga very cinematic, very beautiful. Siyempre, it was... Direk is very different yung attack niya kung pagka sa mga ganitong classic mga eksena. But when we watched it, talaga, it was just so beautiful. So, binigay talaga namin yung full trust namin kay Direk. Because first of all, he has like this really good reputation as a director. And we all know that. I've worked with Direk a long time ago, pero sa teleserye, and it's short lang yun. And just to be given the opportunity to work with him sa isang buong pelikula is just really an honor for me and for all of us, I believe, because it's like, I mean, like he's been here in the industry and he's like one of the everyone looks up to him, so I'm just so happy. Kinilig na.
Parang you're comfortable with Joem. Parang relaxed ka sa kanya. How is it?
Yes, kasi ilang beses na po kami magkatrabaho. So, this one's like a whole different level lang po of maturity, I think. So, yeah, we're very relaxed. Yeah. Magkapit.
Sorry, stories Siyempre,
Yeah.
timing namin po talaga siguro yung annulment na talagang ready na po tatagal yung ganitong kabigat and narin when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to a couple. So, sobrang saya lang namin na nandito kami sa stage na to. And yun, sabay kami na yung sa career when it comes to acting, yung maturity namin as actors, yung maturity namin as a off-cam maturity namin as a person. Kaya happy kami together. Let's talk about it.
Kaya direct nagbago ka na. Bakit? Art na ginagamit mo o humasa niya?
Kasi hindi na ako nagagalit sa set. Kalmado na ako ngayon.
Nagbago ka na nga talaga.
Cool na cool ako, tsaka ayaw ko na magpuyat.
Oo.
Lagi kami maaga nagkasapos.
Talaga.
Basta ang rule namin, we start early. Between 8 to 8:30, I start rolling. Before 12, we're done. Usually 10:30 to 11.
Wow.
Nang walang may iwan. Everything done.
Oo.
It's planning eh. It's planned well. And ang supervising producer na si Manny, he takes care of everything eh.
Wow.
Hindi lang administrative. Manny called me up after watching my cut last night, and then he told me his reaction in the movie, how happy he was upon seeing the movie. Then sorry Manny, chichismis kita. Then I told Manny, I couldn't have done it without you because Manny is a very good creative partner. He knows how to push the right button sa akin eh. So we never discuss ng mahaba. We never argue. Pag may sinasabi siya, I immediately see the point and I agree. Pag may sinasabi ako, he always says, gets ko direct. So kaya mabilis, match na match kaming dalawa. It's always a joy working with Manny. At marami kami nagawang masaya kami pareho.
So, this is the study of a relationship, how it starts and how it crumbles.
Yes, it's a study of humanity. It's a study of perspectives. And it's a study of ano ba talaga ang ibig sabihin ng love at commitment. Ang commitment at expectation, hindi magbabago yan pag pinasal na kami. Bakit may obligasyon? Ang commitment ba dapat may kondisyon? At gaano kalaki ang papel ng masarap at mahusay na sex para mapanatili ang isang relasyon? Because when you marry young and it's out of passion, you do everything to please each other. And sometimes, pleasing each other in the flesh helps men. Small differences. Pero paano pag malaking differences na? Kaya pa man itong puputin?
Hindi na ma-repair.
Oo, kaya pa niyang patsinin? Is the beauty of good physical relationship always equal to the beauty of what a relationship should be? So may ganon, lalo na pagbata. Pag siguro pag nasa 50s at 60s, ibang perspective naman. Pero sa edad nila, malaking bagay ang physical relationship sa emotional commitment eh. So, isa yun sa malaking aspeto. That's why the scenes are very daring. Some scenes are romanticized cinematically. Pero some scenes, we purposely shot it ng awkward. Yung awkward na position, awkward ang one, because that's how it goes. And some,
That's it for they were hurting each other.
that's forced sex. That's forced sex. Nag-aaway sila, ayaw ni girl, sabi ni guy, asawa kita, ba't bigkasyon ka sa akin? So it's almost marital rape. So instead of marital rape, I'll give it to you. This is what you want, I'll give it to you. You had fun? Good. At the end of the scene, sabihin ko na, at the end of the scene, after really good, rough sex, Lovi says, nag-enjoy ka. Sabi ni Joem, oo, salamat. Sabi ni Lovi, sex lang yun, pareho natin kailangan. Sa baba ko matutulog.
Well, good luck. Sana maka-alternate.
May ganon, di ba? Yung we try, some portions are cinematically made, some portions are still cinematic, but we try to make it raw. You will hear some things by having doing the love scenes that you only hear in the bedroom. Pero dito nilabas natin, because it's real. Yan ang sila. Pero ginagawa namin, share how open they are. Before I do a love scene, nilalatag ko sa kanila kung anong gagawin. Ito ang gagawin. Then I ask my assistant, the two of us do it. Whenever it is, on the bed, on the floor, in the shower, I block it so that they will see it. And then after everything, sasabihin ko, if you have any discomfort, tell me. And then they say, they tell me right away, direct ang ganda, halika gawin natin. So malinis ang usapan. Wala kami, sabi ko, I will never do anything that my actors will not agree to. So dapat lahat tayo nag-agree. Lahat. To the smallest kiss, to the smallest kapag ng kamay papunta sa nipple, to the smallest pinch, lahat yun pinag-uusapan namin.
Si Laura, I saw you in LCD, you were very good. It was a short role pero magaling ka. So ano naman ang role dito ni Laura Direct and how is she?
Tell your daughter.
Sige po. So yung role ko dito po is Trisha. Si Trisha po ay yung best friend ni Gary or Lovi. And very typical na best friend siguro. Very defensive. So kung ayaw niya yung lalaki, sinasabi niya talaga. Kung gusto niya yung lalaki, sinasabi niya talaga. So I think it's important kasi minsan sa relasyon, hindi lang yung problema, minsan hindi lang sa two people. Nakikialam kasi yung mga kaibigan ng mga pamilya. So I think that's what Trisha served in this movie.
You're the voice of reason.
Yes.
Oh, how is she?
Ano ko pageant fanatic ako
Ay?
So syempre, artista ko si Laura. Gusto ko siya, hindi ko pa siya nakatrabaho, hindi ko siya kilala. I wanted her to win the night that she entered the Miss World Philippines. So I was happy to be working with her. So nag-uusap kami ni Manny. Sabi ko, Manny, kumusta si Laura? Bagong artista. Sabi niya, okay, direct, basta tutukan mo na. So handang-handa akong tumutok. Eh yung unang eksena, she was doing it right. So ayoko makialam, baka ma-confuse. Yung susunod na eksena, she was doing it right. Halfway through the film, she was still doing it right. So ang tunto ko was just to watch. And it very mind, I didn't want to meddle kasi dahil baka ma-conscious at magbago ang atake. She's very good. Very good.
Congratulations.
Nakaka-pressure actually. Sobrang scared ako nun kasi syempre si Direct Man and two people who've been in the industry for so long. So I actually memorized my lines all the time kasi syempre nakakatakot. I was scared to I didn't want to be the reason that the movie was bad. Because I didn't want to bring down their movie. So I think that was my motivation. So I learned a lot.
Joem, it's nice to see you doing heterosexual sex again after mga batang pose and ano ayaw kasama kay Tony Labrusca, di ba? So, mukhang at home ka naman dito.
Paano mo ba sasagutin? I'm happy doing different roles. I'm happy doing challenging roles. Alam mo naman, siyempre kapag nagkaka-age na tayo sa industriya, hindi ka naman pwede maging kampante lang doon. Kini-offer, the pag-view na pag-offer lang. And I think kung nag-craft naman ako ng time, kahit yung bata pa ako, mag-usap na with the character roles. And I'm just happy now, and I'm just, I feel honored and grateful and blessed for Regan giving me the opportunity to be a lead.
Yeah,
It's my first time doing this, and I guess parang lahat ng love scenes ko before, lahat ng daring scenes ko, parang nabigyan ng, ano ba, justification, justice ngayon. Sagot, kasi lahat ng pag-iingat ko, ito pa yung feeling na maging lead. But I'm just happy to be working with Rekma, with Lovi, with Laura, and with everyone, with Mother especially, giving me this opportunity, with Mama Rosette, Direct Man, and everyone sa Regal. I'm just so happy na, alam niyo kasi sa panahon ngayon, ang hirap na ang daming artista. So, everyone is parang lahat dito na. And for me, sobrang tagal ko sa industriya at mabigyan ako ng pagkakataong ito. It's just really an honor and I'm very grateful for everyone. Siyempre for the press to be seeing this. Parang ano na to ano ba, milestone for me. Kasi I'm just happy na binigyan na ako. And I'm here, talking to each and every one of you as a lead na hindi na ako.
Well, it's about time na mabigyan ka.
Salamat po, Tito Marco. Thank you.
So, my best wishes for your movie. I cannot wait to see it and the treatment of the life na ginawa niyo dun sa material. I hope it will be a blockbuster.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Mario. Is a question from Joseph at Lehman.
Hi, Joseph.
Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Adelano of Inquiry.net. My questions are for Ms. Lovi, Mr. Joem, and Ms. Laura. If you were to find yourself in a bad marriage, would you try to save it at all costs, or would you quickly file for another wife? I start with Ms. Lovi.
I would definitely try to save it. Of course, do my best to save the relationship. I kept saying this earlier, but when we enter a relationship and when we commit ourselves to someone, no one really wants it to end badly. We actually want to work things out. So hanggang sa kaya niyo paglaban, paglalaban. Pero syempre, there are things that you can't fix. And if you feel like it's more of a no turning back situation, then I think you better pag-uusapan na ganun.
Thank you. I have the same question for Mr. Joem.
Good afternoon, sir. Yun, lagi din namin pinag-uusapan ni Lovi yun. Actually, during the shoot, lagi namin pinag-uusapan na napakalungkot yung tinatakan namin. Na parang at this moment, ginagawa namin mga scenes, baka may dalawang couple na pinagdadaanan yung mga ganitong klaseng eksena or ganitong klaseng sitwasyon sa buhay nila. And syempre, my answer would be, syempre, coming from a very conservative country like the Philippines, syempre, ang sagot natin dyan lagi is ipaglalaban natin na hanggang sa huli, kung hanggang sa kamatayan. Pero, syempre, sa panahon ng generation ngayon, nag-iiba na ang mga arguments, nag-iiba na yung mga tao, nag-iiba na yung values ng mga tao. And I guess, syempre, paglalaban natin. Pero may mga things talaga na tama sinabi ni Lovi na hindi mo na ma-fix. At at the same time, kapag pinilit nyo, baka mas lalo kayong masaktan at mas lalo mawala yung respeto nyo para sa isa't isa. And I guess, doon na talaga nag-end up na siguro talagang kailangan yung choice to be annulled and to be separated. At I think, yun lang naman yung sinasabi din namin with the movies that after the annulment, hindi naman tapos ang buhay ng dalawang tao yun. I guess, yun yung gusto namin ipakita na may hope pa rin as an individual na hindi lang tungkol sa inyong dalawa yung or yung relationship. I guess, you really have to grow separately para mag-mature kayo yung dalawa and for you to fix or find yourself para maging okay kayo with each other in the future kung sakaling makita kayo.
Thank you. I can see a question for Ms. Laura.
Well, for me po, I think this movie, aside from entertaining you and aside from touching you, I think what it does also is it informs you. Because prior to, I guess, making this movie, I didn't know the extent of having an annulment. Like, we learned that to get an annulment, it's something like you have to claim that your spouse is mentally incapable. You have to claim that your spouse has an STD. So, sobrang lalim po. Ang hirap talaga. You make all these accusations. So, I think it just reminds everyone that before you get married, dapat sure ka sa tao. You really have to realize that you're making a lifelong commitment and annulment should be the last resort.
Thank you. My last question for the three of you. Would you advise your loved ones trapped in a bad marriage to file for annulment quickly? Why? Yeah, kung meron yung loved ones na in a bad marriage, destructive, it's bad for each other, would you advise them to seek annulment and why?
I'll probably be the same as Trisha's character. If I see that a relationship is destructive, let's say abusive, and also, yeah, as long as you see like a really negative relationship, I would definitely not really advise, probably give her a good talk about pros and cons of having or keeping a relationship. But yeah, kasi it's hard to see your loved ones go through something terrible, di ba? So, hindi mo talaga may iwasan na bigyan ng advice na yung kaibigan mo o yung loved one mo na talagang kung hindi na tama yung nakikita mo, syempre, as a friend, posible na mabigyan ko rin siya ng ganong klase.
Thank you.
Bottom line.
Same question for Joem.
For me, siguro, syempre bibigyan ng advice na kung paano ko sagot ito. For me, siguro advice ko seek legal help or professionals na makakatulong sa'yo when it comes to those kind of yung sobrang bigat na namang nangyari, kung abusive na, kung hindi na talaga work yung relationship nyo. And I guess, yeah, okay lang ako sa sabi ko. Nasabi natin yung natin. Ganyan naman, as friends or as loved ones, syempre sasamahin mo sila or dadamahin mo sila as yung process na mangyayari sa kanila. And mas, for me kasi kung merong mas nakakaalam ko ano yung dapat gawin for the advices and for anything else, maybe mga help na lang. Iba po sa kukulit na ako. Thank you.
Thank you, Joem. Last question, same question for Ms. Laura.
Well, I guess I would say that annulment should be a last resort. I would advise my friend to try to talk it out first. Do whatever you can so that you don't get annulled. Because at the end of the day, you married each other for a reason. So if you can go back to that reason and find whatever's left of it, then sana, things will be okay whether you live together, whether you're separate. Basta last resort ko yung annulment for me.
Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you, Sir Joseph. Next po. Sir Archie.
Good afternoon. Congratulations dito sa movie niyo. Question ko, direct ma'am. Dito sa annulment, gaano kalalim ang pagtalakay na ginawa mo sa annulment? Tinlakay ba dito mga proseso at the same time yung legalities na yung grounds for seeking annulment?
Tinalakay siya na naayon sa estado ng dalawang characters ng pelikula. Ayon sa age range nila. Tapos sa point of view ng mga kaibigan niya at ng mga magulang. Pero nasa age range. Kasi kung magpapaanan 50 years, ibang point of view rin yun. So hanggang dun sa perspective nila. Yes, na-discuss ang proseso. Yes, na-discuss ang meron sa courtroom scene. Pero lahat yon serves as a background sa kung sino sila bilang tao. Kasi nag-uugat yan sa sino si Gary bilang si Gary at si Sherwin. What brought them together? And bakit yung tama yung sinabi ni Lore, bumalik kayo dun sa dahilan kung bakit kayo una nagpakasal. Umalik sila eh. Pero yung dahilan na yun natapunan na ng mga pag-iba ng pananaw nila sa buhay 7 years after. Yun ang, may isang linya si Gary dito. Sabi ni Gary, akala ko na plano ko ang buhay ko. Sabi niya, naplano ko ang buhay ko. I focused on my studies. I graduated with honors. Land a job na sa field na passionate ako. Pero nakalimutan ko planuhin ang pag-aasawa. Kasi na-inlove ako at nalulot ako sa feeling. Masarap kasi na-inlove. Nakalimutan niya planuhin. Ang nakalimutan nila na ang relationship hindi lang tungkol sa nararamdaman mo. Yun ang nasa sentro, pero maraming pang iba. Ang ibang mga tao, napaplano nila, ang ibang aspeto ng buhay nila, akala nila kontrolado nila. Ang nakalimutan nila, ang sabihin ni Gary, yung karakter niya, nakalimutan niya, hindi lang siya. Dalawa sila. At hindi pwedeng umaasa ka na magbabago. Hindi ka magpapakasal dahil umaasa kang may magbabago. Magpapakasal ka dahil gusto mo yung nakikita mo, handa ka, hanggang ending na gano'n. So hanggang sa ganung klaseng pagtalakay, yes. Yung proseso ng annulment, tinalakay natin siya kasi bahagi siya ng kwento eh. Pero hindi yun ang focus. Ang focus ay hindi tungkol sa legalidad. Ang focus ay hindi tungkol sa dalawang individuals na nailang at ano nangyayari sa kanila while going through an annulment process. Kasi yung buong pelikula is about nangyayari sa kanila habang may annulment.
Congratulations, Joem, po, tama na. Kasi itong last quarters, sunod yung pelikula mo, iba, puro mga bida ka pa.
Thank you. Yes, very blessed po. I'm happy to very blessed to hear ko. Again, thank you for every nakapasok na po yun. I'm happy nakapasok po yun by Gagayapan and right about now po kasama Kino. Pero first, alayin mo na natin. For me, sino mo nga? Yan, dito ko. Oh my God. Dami ko nga paniginawa. And I'm just happy na parang lahat ka na pag-iilan ko ng award for me to be working. And thank you.
Ang tanong ko para sa mga sa kaso, no? Do you consider yourself a marrying kind? Yes. Kasi sabi nga ni Joem kanina, nag-evolve ang panahon ngayon na sa siyempre yung iba, kontento na sa live-in at saka walang commitment, wala silang tawag dito, walang komplikasyon. So, do you consider yourself as marrying kind?
Ako po, I think marriage is only an option for me if you find the right person for you. I wouldn't want to get married just because society tells me to. Kasi parang at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to be in the relationship and you're the one who's going to be living that life with that other person. So that's why I feel like you have to make the right choice before committing yourself to someone, not just because of like you're of age, like as if there's the right age for that. You can get married anytime you want, whether you're 50 or 60. So I'd rather go through the search until 60 and find the right person than get married to the wrong person when I'm 30. So yeah. So only when you find the right person, then that's when it becomes an option.
Yeah. I think naman everyone's very, for me, siguro yung tama yung sinabi ko na you just have to find the right person, despite of age, despite of time. Hindi ko naman masasabi nila. Maraming gawa ko na naman talaga yun. And dapat na talaga hindi ka ma-pressure, especially sa aming mga, or yun nga sabi ko kay Lovi kanina, sa aming mga artista, sa aming mga celebrities. Kasi nagiging platform na ng social media when it comes to yung mga nagpo-propose, yung mga marriages, yung mga proposals. So parang nagiging pressure siya for everyone na parang gusto ko ganito, gusto ko maging ganito yung pag-propose ko. And I think dapat hindi nila inisip yun, or dapat hindi nila kino-compare sa sarili sa mga ganung bagay. Dapat yung sarili mong time, sarili mong describe sa buhay kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. When you want to marry na. And yun, wala naman tamang panahon. Tama naman lahat ng panahon para magpapasal. You just have to find the right person to
Copy-paste po. So good na lang. But yeah, I do agree with them. And you know, I think also what's wrong siguro with society is that especially for girls, you're sort of raised to believe that your wedding day and what you see on social media is supposed to be this spectacular event. Dapat maganda yung proposal, dapat maganda yung pictures and videos. When in reality, the only thing that matters is if you're in love with that person. So whether you have all those things or not, whether you can afford those things or not, sometimes it comes down to money. But I think if you love the person, married or not married, then that's what should make you happy.
Follow-up question. When do you feel that you are ready for A, marriage through seeking annulment.
When am I ready for marriage? What's it?
The first one is marriage, the second one is
When are you ready for
Okay. A, marriage. I guess when I find the right person that I can see myself growing old with, that I can see myself starting a family with, that I share the same values with, B, annulment. Sana po. I'll never be ready for it because it will never be an issue.
Thank you, candidate number one. Okay, kay Joem naman.
Ano ako sasabihin ko? Yes, wala. Copy-paste na lang ako sa ano, for A for marriage, yes, pag nakikita na yung tamang tao, pagiging ready na. And I guess, yes, B, annulment as much as possible. Gagawin ko pa rin yung best ko para i-save at mag-work in a relationship and marriage ko sa kanyang request. Yes.
Ako po, of course, I always say that if I find the right person, but I also feel I need to become the right person as well. So as an individual, I feel like dapat ma-accomplish ko muna yung gusto kong gawin as an individual. And then when I'm ready to share my life with someone and feeling ko nagawa ko na lahat ng gusto ko, yun, siguro then I'll be ready. Because I feel like mahirap kasi to share your life with someone na parang feeling mo na kulang ka ba? Meron pa akong gustong gawin sa buhay ko, hindi pa ako buo. So yun siguro, isa sa mga rason aside from finding the right person. And the second is, annulment. You know, the truth is, shooting this movie made me realize na sobrang hirap pala to keep a relationship going. Para as much as possible, ayaw mo talagang mauwi sa ganito yung ang isang relasyon. So, lahat naman tayo, I think we're all praying for the best, even for other people. I wouldn't wish for even my enemies to go through certain pain. So, as much as possible. Sana hindi pa gano'n yung pag-iwalay. Ano ba yan? No, breakdown ka na naman. Nag-breakdown kasi na si Joem during the love scene. Yes, you're sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you po. Next naman po.
Tatay Rafael.
Ano ko lang yung showers din yung dalawa? Kung saan naman kayo, Joem, kung saan may showers din yung dalawa? Yun na.
Share naman.
Ilang take pa yun?
Hindi ko kinaya, sinabi na siya.
Hindi nyo kanaya? O ikaw Lovi?
No, kasi po, nakakatawa kasi. That was probably our last love scene na po sa movie. So, parang kami ni Joem, nandun na kami sa shower. And we're waiting for the cameras to roll and everything. Tapos, nakatayo lang po kami doon. And bigla na si Joem out of nowhere. Lovi. So sabi ko, kaya mo yan. So, but it's just like, it's not because it's, I don't know, bakit ba?
Hindi na alam for the last scene, for the last love scene. Pero very hot kasi yung kinalabasan. So,
Oh, but I watched that part. I loved it.
Hot
Thank you. So, kasi iba talaga pag ginagawa mo, tapos nung pinanatan. Iba yung pinalabasan. I'm so happy. Nakakakilig nga eh. Hindi siya makatingin.
Talaga ako nahiya ako sa surprise.
Naiya pa siya. May iyakin si. Mas may iyakin ka, di ba, Lovi? Pero pagdating sa screen, di ba? Iba yung Lovi kung napapanood sa big screen.
Nahiyain talaga ako in real life, pero hindi lang mukha.
There's a question from Rose before we continue para may interview ka natin yung cast.
Hello. Lovi, nung di ba nagpunta ka ng US, parang nag-aral ka din ng acting, right? So, na-apply mo ba siya? Na-apply ko na ba siya dito ngayon?
Yes, somehow na-apply ko din siya. I believe na parang marami naman po akong nauwi na natigulan ko from LA. sa mga acting coach na nakasama ko. But also there's instinct. And I feel like, kasi when you react with your actors, it's not calculated. It's not supposed to be calculated. So parang, since I'm working with Direct Mac, who knows exactly what he wants for the scene, and yung co-actors ko are very giving at ang dami kong makuha from them. So basically, it's more of taking something from my actors and from my co-actors and from my director. So of course, I did apply stuff that I learned, but the difference is, I feel, is when you instinctively react, that's when it comes out naturally, and your heart and soul comes out truthfully. So it was more of that. Parang hindi na ako naging mindful masyado. Of course, I'm well aware when I read the script, but when I'm there, iba na yung instinct namin as actors.
Next question. After doing the annulment, ano yung naging impact sa'yo nung the whole movie? Natakot ka ba to enter marriage, or nabago ba yung mindset mo from before yung mga chika-chika natin?
Yes.
And same goes to Joem. Kasi yung long-term relationship, diba? So ano yung naging impact sa'yo ng the annulment?
Naging impact po sa akin, of course, before I enter something, I have to make sure na sigurado kami sa isa't isa. And also, yeah, I want to make sure that I'm in love. Wow. I want to make sure I'm in love and have so much respect for that person so that hindi mauwi sa annulment or mauwi sa hiwalayan. Because going through this, sa pelikula pa lang, nasasaktan ako. And the fact that I do have friends who actually messaged to me and told me na, oh girl, ako yan bukas sa court hearing. Masakit yan para sa akin na pinagdadaanan yun ng isang kaibigan. So I wouldn't want to pray for that to happen. You know, I wouldn't pray for that even sa worst enemy ko. So,
feeling mo ba hindi mo pa nakikita yung talagang na-in-love ka na talaga?
I don't know. I mean, how do I say this? Of course, I think I've been in love. Maybe I am.
So good.
Wow. But, it's so... Maybe lang. Yun nga eh. Ang hirap. Sagutin mo pinagpapagusto mo. Anyway, yeah, I think naman when we enter a relationship, we always feel like we're in love. I think it's just a different level of love each time. We don't love the same way twice. That's the only difference, I feel.
Okay, Joem.
Hindi na naman yung tanong, pwede ba puro Korean stars na lang? Anong takeaway ko sa annulment? Natatakot ba ako or na-expect? Paano ba? Siyempre natatakot ako na doon pa rin kasi ako sa stage na kung sa relationship na siyempre masaya pa rin kami. Doon pa rin kami sa stage na yung kilig pa rin, okay pa kami sa isa't isa. And natakot na ako kung dumating doon sa point, lalo na doon sa tinatahan ng movie na kapag nawala na yung love niyo for each other. So, doon ako natakot na paano nga, kung ako yun, paano ko gagawin kung magiging sure win ba or kung sa stage ko sa buhay ko sa time na yun, ano na yung level of maturity ko as a person, kung paano ko de-decision na yung mga bagay-bagay kapag nangyari. So, yun yung parang kinakatakot ko na parang this is the reality that I have to face hinaharap sa future ko na hindi natin may iwasan yung mga bagay na ganito. And I guess with the same sa takot ko, nagkaroon ako din ng hope na parang kung pwede mo pa siya ipaglaban or kung mangyari man at mangyayari ang mga hindi mo inaasahan, lalo na kung na-alal talaga kayo, I guess you really have to make it para sa inyong dalawa na magkaroon kayo ng respeto na titira para at least kung mangyari may hope pa rin kayo para sa isa't isa. Yung gusto din namin ipakita sa movie na hindi at the end of the annulment, hindi pa rin siya yung ending ng mundo para sa inyong dalawa. Siguro ending talaga yung relationship niyo, pero sa individual, siguro baka pwede mo kayo mag-roommate na baka in the near future, baka pwede mo kayo magsama. So, yun, hindi naman natin masasabi sa panahon. Kailangan natin.
Okay? And
Same question.
okay na yata.
Akin na pa.
Okay.
For last question, there's Jun Lali, the famous Jun Lali, Anything Goes.
Hello. Yeah, I love. Anyways, lagi na heard, pinamili ka ni Rosel ng leading man. After talking, kinusap ka muna about the annulment, about sa, tapos alam mo na yung mga istorya mo. Pinamili ka ng leading man, ang pinili mo si Joem. Is it because nakita mo yung mga delikadong eksena, kilala mo, sanay ka na sa kanya. Kaya siya yung pinili mo. Kasi pang 14 na to di ba? Tapos isang movie lang na hindi kayo nagka-eksena, pero the best na kayo nagsama.
Madaming beses na po kami nagsama ni Joem. But, you know, ang sarap kasi makaisana isang magaling na actor. Because, no, but it's true though. Si Joem kasi, I've worked with him a million times. And you know when someone has depth and who's sincere as an actor. And plus, aside from he's an amazing actor, he's also very good looking. Wow. And there's this certain appeal about him. And I believe a lot of girls are actually jealous of me right now because of the looks, the t-shirt that they showed. But it's not just me. Parang everyone talked about it and everyone agreed and picked him. It wasn't me. It was them. It was Miss Rosel, it was mother, it was me, and we were all just like crazy about Joem because we knew that he was a great actor. And watching the trailer pa lang I mean, I was dubbing the trailer and I was already so amazed. And I'm just so happy to be with him.
Pero yun nga, sa dami ng projects na pinagsamahan niyo, sobrang process niyo sa mga pagpuli mo sa kanya. Pero parang walang nangyaring something sa inyo. No? I mean, parang hindi kayo na-involved, hindi kayo na-link.
Sarah, don't make it sure. Wala po. Ano lang kami, talagang we're really close friends kasi since...
Yeah. Kasi nung nag-start kami with Tito Leo, kasi nung first game film ni Lovi, with maybe panahon na with direct Paolo na ang first partner ni Lovi, hindi parang nag-start din ako sa Tito Leo. So, yung mga first work, and yun, after that, naging friends, White House, and everything. So, paano, sige, okay na ako. I'm just happy na we were working together kaya yung as friends, tapos nakikita namin yung sarili namin na nagmamature kami towards hindi lang sa work, kundi as a person, as ourselves. And I'm just happy na doing this kind of roles with her. Kasi komportable na kami sa isa. Yun yung nangyari ko yung sinasabi ni Direct Mac, sobrang we feel honored about it na tinext niya kami na nakita niya yung pelikula. So sobrang galing yung ginawa. Sabi ko kasi siguro maganda talaga yung tandem siguro namin tatlo na makasama kami kakaintindihan kasi kami talaga tatlo yung Direct Mac, yung Lovi. And sobrang komportable kasi kami yung Lovi. So sobrang saya lang talaga.
The annulment, syempre, nakikita yung mga eksena nyo, yung gulo nyo bilang mag-asawa sa pelikula, diba? Ito, isa rin sa reasons kung bakit, di ba, living ka with your girlfriend? Tama ba? So, eto, kaya mas gusto mo rin yung live-in muna para makita nyo kung talagang okay kayo before kayo makasama.
Siguro chance na sa may pagkakataon na tumira kami magkasama kasi talagang kailangan lang namin yung panahon na yun. So may mga bagay kami na hindi namin maiwasan na kaya kailangan namin magsama ng dalawa at tumira sa isang bahay, sa isang kwarto. Pero for me, it depends on the couple kung gusto nila magsama or kung gusto nila magkahiwalay at kita pa rin from time to time. So it depends pa rin sa couple kung ano yung dapat set up na for each other. I guess, yeah, minsan gano'n eh. Minsan kasi walang time, big. So parang kahit magsama kayo sa bahay, sa pag nag-work ako lang, parang hindi kami magkasama. So hindi the most out of quality time na meron kami kahit magkasama kami or hindi.
Yeah, what about you now? Ano gusto mo set up? Magpakasal ka agad or kasi diba, sabi na expected, meeting para makita nyo hindi ka na-face walk. Hindi kayo mahirapan kasi so hard din yung annulment, di ba? Piling pa lang, sobrang mahal. Di ba? Pinagdadaanan.
Actually, it really depends because depende po rin, like sabi po ni Joem, depende po yan sa couple.